Hi, I'm Father Donald Calloway, the Vocation Director with the Marian Fathers of the Immaculate Conception. You may have heard about some of the books that I've written over the recent years. For example, my book on my conversion, which is called No Turning Back, A Witness to Mercy, or the book about Our Lady, Under the Mantle, Marian Thoughts from a 21st Century Priest. Well, today, I want to tell you about the new book that I've written, and I think it's my best book yet. It's called Champions of the Rosary, The History and Heroes of a Spiritual Weapon. My friends, I'm so excited about this book that I almost don't know where to begin to tell you about the contents of it. And as you can see, it's quite a thick book. It's over 400 pages long. I wrote this book because I wanted to have a comprehensive book on the Rosary that talks about everything that there is to know about the Rosary. And so the method is to have 3 sections in this book. The first section is a complete history of the Rosary, and that took me about 2.5 years to write. I had to do research in libraries all around the world, and it took a lot of work, but I think that you're really going to love it, because I talk about the Rosary starting with when the angel came to Our Lady and said, "Hail, full of grace," how the Hail Mary began to be born, that beautiful prayer that we love, and then talking about the Our Father, the use of prayer beads in the early church, and something that came to exist called the Marian Psalter, and how all of that laid the foundation for what Our Lady would give to St. Dominic in the 13th century, the Rosary. So the history is fascinating of where we get the Rosary. And I think you're going to be amazed when you learn about some things that even I learned about in my research throughout the last 800 years of the history of the Rosary. For example, have you ever heard of Our Lady of Las Lajas? This is an image that was given to the world in the 18th century in Colombia on the surface of a rock. And geologists and scientists, as they researched this, they discovered that it's really not even a painting. There's no paint on the rock. The rock is the image, and it's 3 feet deep into the rock. Our Lady of Las Lajas in Colombia. It's incredible. It's really a miracle. Did you know also that in the 17th century, there was a mystic in Spain named Venerable Mary of Agreda, who was bilocating from her convent in Spain to an unknown land in what is today the American Southwest, and she was giving rosaries to a tribe of unknown, undiscovered Indians. It's amazing. Most people are not aware of these things. Did you know that there was a former satanic priest who had a huge conversion through the Rosary? Blessed Bartolo Longo. This is the man that built the world's most famous shrine dedicated to the Rosary, Our Lady of the Rosary of Pompeii. 3 popes have been to the shrine. This is just a snippet of the first part of this book, the history of the Rosary. You're going to love it. The second part of the book is what I gathered was the greatest champions of the Rosary, the greatest heroes. 26 of them. There have been many more than 26, but these are the major players, starting with St. Dominic. Then Blessed Alan de la Roche, the great Dominican priest who renewed the Rosary, on fire with love for the Rosary. And then you had great popes like Blessed Pius IX, who said, "Give me an army to pray the Rosary, and I will conquer the world." You have Blessed Bartolo Longo, that former satanic priest that I had mentioned. You have Pope Leo XIII, who wrote 11 encyclicals on the Rosary. You have the servant of God, Father Patrick Peyton, who gathered more people to pray the Rosary than anybody in the history of the Church. St. Maximian Kolbe, of course, loved the Rosary. The servant of God, Frank Duff, who founded the Legion of Mary, the world's largest Marian organization, and so many more. You're going to love the second section of that book when you discover some of these great champions and heroes of the Rosary. In the third part of the book, I talk about how we are to pray the Rosary and how we're not to pray the Rosary. Because there is a very good way to pray the Rosary that when we pray it together, we pray it as one voice. You may be aware, as I am, sometimes people pray the Rosary too fast. Or sometimes people pray the Rosary too slow. We have to learn how to pray it together. When we do that, I think that we'll have more people coming to our churches before or after Mass to pray the Rosary. And that's going to have an impact upon the world, upon society, and upon the crazy times that we live in today. You're going to love this book, my friends. In the last area of the book, the first section, second section, third section, there's an appendix. Guess what's in that? A Rosary in art. Color section, 26 pages of the Rosary in classical art. You're going to love it. It took us a lot of time to get the permissions from museums in Russia and Austria and Spain, but we got it. and you're going to see these images all in one place. Get a copy of this book, my friends. I really believe that you are going to love it. Devour it. Learn how to pray the rosary. Get this and get it for your friends. You'll be blessed by it. Go to my website, fathercallaway.com, and get your copy today.